Hello and welcome back to another OmniHeroes video. In this video, we're just going to review Arthur at 6 stars. So this is Arthur, King of Knights. He will be, I suspect, the third unit available through Oath over the course of the next couple of weeks. I believe he'll be available in a month's time. If not, he'll be on the next Oath coming out. So that won't be this Friday, be the Friday after. So how do you go ahead and obtain a copy of Arthur? Well, you can go ahead and purchase the Eternal Decree. So if you want a copy of Arthur early, I believe it's 50.99, something like that. And you go ahead and just get it passively by playing through the seasonal content. You'll build up these points here. As you can see at the moment, I'm at 440. So I unlocked him a couple of days ago and have been playing around with him ever since, and I think he's quite good actually. I do, but I think he doesn't look like he does a lot. So I'll just turn the sound down. It's beautiful music and I do enjoy listening to it, but it does get in the way of the game. So let's have a look at Arthur and let's just see what he does. So he is a Doom, he is a Royal, he is a Celestial, and also a Striker. Now I was very disappointed to see that Arthur, King of Knights, was not a Monarch. I would have absolutely loved for him to be on the Monarch team, but the problem is, if he was a Monarch, that team would probably be unstoppable. Yeah, it is. What he does is very powerful, and having him at higher star levels, I don't think will increase it. But let's just jump in and see what he does first. So I'll move myself over here. Now his ultimate, Lion's Verdict. Arthur deals up to 404% physical damage to frontline enemies. Now frontline, it's very important, it's not all enemies. So he's not going to be doing absolutely massive damage. He's not intended to do absolutely massive damage. Really, he's intended to tank, I believe. But also, with the Striker synergy unlocked, I think that might change. But we'll see. So his second ability, so that was his ultimate. His first active, Arthur deals 162% physical damage to frontline enemies. So nothing really to write home about his active and about his ultimate. They don't really do altogether too much besides damage. The 400% is quite good. It does the job, to say the least, and it will go up the higher star level you have him at. So when you get him up to 8 stars and you unlock the Striker synergy, this too will go up to 484%, which is quite a hefty increase as well. Now, this is the whole point of this unit, his King's Crown. So, when Arthur is deployed, he grants all allies 25% chance to reflect any debuff received back to the caster. This still applies even if Arthur does die. Very powerful effect indeed, especially because recently I've discovered that it reflects corrode damage back. So instances of corrode that are applied to you have a chance to be reflected back at the enemy. Or any member of your team has 25% chance to reflect that corrode back, as well as any debuffs, like any defense debuffs, any attack debuffs, anything like that will be reflected back. Now, when Arthur himself deals reflect damage, he deals additional damage equal to 5% of his max HP. That's massive, not exceeding 1,000% of Arthur's attack. Now, if, say, for example, you pair him with Ophelia, who increases HP whenever reflect stack, I believe, or no, whenever HP is increased for Ophelia, she will apply attack stacks to him. So it works very well in combination with that, but you also want to increase his HP using stuff like Demon Blade Whip, like Halissa, and any unit which has the potential to increase his HP. And when an ally deals reflect damage, all allies have their attack increased by 10% and max HP by 10%, stacking up to 50 times. So this works in combination with each other. So when Arthur, when he deals reflect, he will deal an additional 5% equal to his max HP, and all allies have their attack increased, max HP increased by 10%, stacking up to 50 times. This gets ridiculous. So you can get up to 500% attack, 500% HP increase. Now, the next part of his passive is locked, and that's at 7 stars, and I'll cover that in the 7-star review, but increasing the triggering chance of King's Crown to 50%. So it's just this ability here increases to 50%. So when he's deployed, he grants all allies 50% chance to reflect any debuffs received back to the caster. So it doesn't impact the second or the third part of his ability, so this bit here or this bit here, just this bit. I think they're putting a lot of stock. Oh, sorry. I've got something in my eye. I think it's a hair, an eyelash, something like that. Hold on one sec. Ugh. Okay, so it is all dependent. So Arthur is dependent on this particular part of his passive. Now, I don't think his runes, I don't think I should talk about his runes in this 6-star. I will cover them very briefly. As you can see, I'm using Talanas's dodge runes because dodge runes are the recommended rune type for Arthur. And I can see why. The less damage he's going to take, the more attack he can dish out. So let's have a look. He removes holy armor effect from all enemies. That's good. You know, it does the job. Only works in PvP. PvE, doesn't work in PvE. But his actual runes, after an ally takes action, Arthur increases his defense and max HP by 100%, stacking up to 25 times. This effect triggers up to 10 times per round. So the more actions that you take, the higher his defense and HP will go. This is going to be broken. I can tell you now, this will be broken. So you get 2,500 defense and HP. This stacks up to 50 times, so the limit increases to 50. So it is 500% defense and max HP. And then this stacking up to 100 times triggers 10 times per round. So by round 10, you should have this full bonus, his defense and max HP by 100%, which then play into this ability here, the King's Crown. When an ally deals reflect damage, all allies have their attack increased by 10% and HP by 10%, stacking up to 50 times, and dealing the additional reflect damage. So he's all about dealing as much reflect damage as possible. Like I said, it doesn't look like he does a lot when you actually see him in game, but he does do a lot of work. So let's go all the way back down. Let's start out at 320. This is my go-to stage at the moment, just because it's a relatively easy stage and the enemies aren't doing too much and they've not got too much health. So let's build an Arthur team. Now the team that I was playing around with quite a bit is actually a non-DD team. So it would be this team right here. Where have you gone? And Halissa and Merlin as well. So we've got our 2 monarchs, and then we have Doris to go with the striker synergy, and Athena as well. The reason that I've chosen Merlin and Athena is because they apply attack increases and also increase the attack stack limit and reflect stack limit as well with their exclusive runes, and also give physical and magical damage resistance. So I choose this team again because of the buffs that are applied and because of how fast it builds up. I don't think this is the most optimal team for Arthur, but it is what it is. We'll choose our relics here. In fact, let's go with you, and we'll go with increased max HP as well, because that's what Arthur is reliant on. So let's jump in and let's just see how he performs. Now, I've done a couple of shorts on this already, and I think that actually he is he just doesn't look like he does a lot. He really doesn't, and I think with more stars, he's going to start to do a lot more damage. So here we're taking a lot of damage. It's just because we haven't had the chance to build up yet. As you can see, taking a lot of hits on this front row and not really doing altogether too much damage back besides the reflect. So Arthur here, he will go ahead and do his ultimate. I think the animations are lacking, to be honest. But here we go. So this is what I mean. So we're building up our defense as well as our attacks, and as you can see, HP and attack going up. So here, again, we're very close. As you can see, that reflect debuff kicking in there when Elune tried to snipe one of our units. We reflected that damage reduction back, or sorry, the defense reduction back. So it seems to work out well. I think this team, personally, for me, it does need a healer. So you do need a way to restore the health that you are building up. As you can see, we've got a lot of defense, we've got a lot of HP stacks and a lot of attack stacks as well. So these enemies, they aren't doing, it looks like they aren't doing a lot of damage to us, but we've got absolutely massive health pools at the moment, and it's because we're building up all of that HP. Again, we did the reflect damage, and that's the key to Arthur, I believe. So if we have a look here, yeah, we do a lot of reflect damage back. Merlin and Halissa to do the most actual physical damage, but the reflect damage really good. And that is in part thanks to Arthur as well. Now the other team that I have been looking at for Arthur, bit of a change, but it's something along these lines. So what you do, I know it's a bit strange, normally you would have Cleo in this position, but I switched Cleo with Arthur just so we can get the attack increases for Arthur as well. And let's go ahead and change our relics up. So let's jump in with these relics here, and just to give us that additional protection and also the HP increase as well, because we want Dalia and we want Arthur to have as much holy shield as possible. So when Dalia and Arthur do switch, we're going to double the number of buffs as well. So we do get the silence, that's great on these two. Unfortunately, no corrode being reflected back, but we should see Emily pick up a corrode stack as well. So we get the holy shield being removed because of the corrode stacks, but we'll also so we're applying that confuse. Again, Arthur, he's not going to do too much damage with his actual attacks. That's not the point of this unit. It is the corrode damage that's the problem. So Dalia here, going to do absolutely massive damage. Yeah, much higher than Arthur's damage. Again, he's not doing altogether a lot, and I think it's because he's partly a support unit. So we do lose Cleo because of Elune. It is what it is. I don't think it's altogether too much, but it's these front two units here switching back and forth. So if we have a look, as you can see, Dalia and Arthur got quite high attack stacks, and Emily here, as you can see, she has now corrode stacks on her. So it's, for me, that is really powerful effect. And these two at the front, they're effectively just immortal, and going to start to do absolutely massive damage over the course of the next couple of rounds. As you can see, not losing much shielding, not losing much health. We did lose out our shield here, but even if we were to be attacked now, yeah, we're not going to take any damage. So effectively, Arthur and Dalia here, because they've been switching, Arthur's increasing his HP and also increasing his attack. When he increases his HP, his attack also increases with thanks to Ophelia. So let's have a look at the stacks here. Yeah, so Arthur on 29 stacks of HP increase, so he's going to be doing a lot of reflect damage here. It's a shame we can't really see it, but yeah, there you go. So he's up to a hefty amount of damage as well, with thanks to Dalia, and put in the work. So let's just have a look at the stats here. 4,030, 2,325. So yeah, for me, he's a good unit, and he's good. He's a good builder-upper. And it just means to me that he is effectively a support unit. For me, you don't expect him to do a lot of damage. So let's jump into a harder stage, 366. This is where the enemies are going to stop messing around effectively. So we'll jump into this Dawnbringer's stage. I think the way that this works, we're going to die very quickly. So we won't choose this one. We'll jump into Protectors. And then we'll just see how well Arthur fares. So this is the highest difficulty that I can reach at the moment. I probably could go further if I really wanted to, but for me, this is absolutely fine. Most people are around between 350 and 400, so this is it's a proving ground for any unit. We do get the silence here, but as you can see, we're doing absolutely no damage with our normal attacks. What we want to do is get Arthur built up as fast as possible, and the easiest way for us to do that is probably through Dalia. Switching with him, providing him with the 1500 attack boost and the 3000 HP boost as well. Arthur will also pick up his own HP boost. Oh, perfect. So yeah, Emily here has the... she's reflected back the corrode damage to herself. It's not going to matter here too much, but in PvP, it really does reflect a lot of damage back. So unfortunately, Dalia down, so I think this is an L. It is what it is. We do have we have phantoms on the team, but again, I don't suspect we'll do too much. So Arthur here is at 10 stacks of the attack reduction. So there we go. And counter attack takes damage equal to the team's reflect with each action taken. Unfortunately, went straight down. It is what it is. Like you see, they're doing sort of 3,000 million per attack. So it is what it is. Now let's change positions up. Let's change positions with Cleo and Dalia and just see how much damage we're actually able to do with Arthur here in this particular slot. So we get silence on both Franz and on Celine down here, which I think is really, really powerful. That silence effect, just because we want to lose as little health as possible, and Sal with his massive ultimate will deal a lot of damage to our team. And we confuse them as well. That's not bad. So as you can see, Arthur not doing anywhere near as much damage, but we are able to reflect the damage back, and we can also reflect taunt back as well. So as you can see, Solomon is taunted because when he attacked, he tried to apply the taunt and he wasn't able to. So that for me, really, really powerful. Unfortunately, even though Franz is confused and he's silenced, still managed to kill Dalia. It is what it is. That's just how it goes at this sort of level. So yeah, like I said, he's not super impactful right now at 6 stars. I think when that chance goes up to 50%, it'll do the business, but I think his exclusive runes are where it's at for him at the moment. So that's the 6-star review for Arthur. Let me know what you think of him. Do you think he's game breaking? Do you think he's meh? You know, let me know what you think about his abilities and what he can do. Thanks very much for watching. I do hope you have a fantastic day, and yeah, let me know how it goes.